owner of a couple of businesses in the multiple industries, and also he was an angel investor in a couple of companies. In terms of his crypto experience, he is in the space since 2015, and he was working as an advisor in the Verge currency project, and that was in 2017 and 2018, and also in the Altura NFT project, and that was in 2021. So if you would like to check those projects of his experience as well, then feel free to do that on CMC or other sites. When it comes to our marketing officer, his name is Jacob, and he was mostly working as a freelancer in the past, helping projects with marketing solutions during the last few years. But he agreed to join us as a team member, and we're very happy to have him on board because he has a lot of experience in that matter. When it comes to contract developer, our dev is Decad Dev, and he's also very experienced because he was the contract developer in projects like DeFi Sportcoin, Nevada, Ultimatum, Dream, DBQ, and others. And in all of those projects, the contracts were very safe and well written, and there was never any issue with those contracts. So we decided to work with him because of that vast experience. And we are also working with the specialist on the development of Cloudia Exchange platform, about which I will talk about a little bit later in details. But I would like to say that the engineers behind the platform is the company CGP Systems, and they have vast experience in developing system for fintech companies, also e-commerce, web apps, startups, financial exchanges, and others. So we choose them to work with us on the Cloudia Exchange because they're the best specialists we could find for that tasks.
Perfect. Thank you so much for giving a brief detail about the roles and the background, Ashton. So what specifically is your role in the project, and how many guys are in your team?
How many people in team? Sorry, I didn't hear that. The last part.
I said, yeah, I said, how many people are there in your team in the project?
Yes. So as I said, in the core team there is 5 people. As I mentioned, me myself, Marek, Jacob, the card dev as well, and there is also Claudia who is taking care of social media like Twitter, Facebook, and Reddit because we are planning a lot of advertisement over there as well. And my role in this project is COO. So basically, I'm taking care of the operations, also on the PR as well, as I'm mostly going to the AMAs. And in the future, I will also working with the team and with our CEO in the further development of the platform and of the project.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you so much. So let's move forward. Could you give a brief introduction about the project?
Of course. I would like to start from a little bit of background, how this idea came up for the Cloudia Exchange and what it is exactly, the Cloudia Exchange. So I would like to start about how developing technology is the GPU's computing power, and how in the past years it basically revolutionized the whole IT industry. So the demand for the computing power, and especially GPU computing power, when the new graphic cards came up to the market with advanced systems like CUDA from NVIDIA, which allows the IT market to do better job with GPUs than CPUs. So we can observe expansionary development of demand. So it's growing like in the past. The demand for the computing power double in 24 months. So in 2 years, it took 2 years to double the demand, and right now it's 2 months. So with all the technologies, like you can see some examples of use case of the GPU computing power on our website, like deep learning, like AI generated art, like video rendering, medical science, data analytics, and all kind of stuff connected to the artificial intelligence, which is getting really important in our even daily life right now. So with that, there is a huge demand for all this computing power, and it's for the big companies and institutes, but also for the small startups and just created companies, like for example, even indie game developers. And they are all in need for that computing power, but because of the situation on the market when it comes to the economy right now, and as well problems with semiconductors, problems with elements which are needed to create electronics, other problems with the trade routes because of the geopolitical situation right now. But not only, and all that problems cost that the price of the GPUs are getting higher and higher. Like for example, Nvidia just a couple of weeks ago showed their new high-end graphic cards, and the cost of that is in thousands of dollars. So basically, when the small company is starting up and they already have a lot of costs to cover, and in addition to that, they need this computing power to start the company. This is creating the problem for them because this is not really cost effective, as they have to pay initial price for the all equipment, all the GPUs. Uh, in addition to that, they have to pay really high bills for electricity because of the situation, especially in Western Europe. This is a huge problem right now because the prices of electricity are growing like even 100, 200% from month to month. And all of that is causing the problem because there is a high demand, but there is a problem with supply because of those high prices of the equipment and high prices of the energy and others. On the other hand, there is a high supply of that computing power, especially right now, because we just went through the Ethereum merge, and there is a lot of miners who just now lost their primary source of income. So they don't exactly know what to do with all those rigs. You can see on the Twitter some like meme videos when they are washing their graphic cards with water and basically wasting all of that equipment and wasting all of that potential they have on the hand. And
Perfect.
our yeah.
Yeah, please go ahead.
Yes, and our idea to solve that problem is to connect the people who are in need for that computing power, like all those companies, all those startups, and all those people who are just in need to progress with their businesses and with their ideas. They need this computing power, but this is too expensive for them. To connect them with those people who are already have access to all this equipment like GPUs, and they don't really know because they lost profits on the mining. They don't really know how to use it properly, all those resources. So on Cloudia Exchange, there will be possibility to just list your GPUs and host them for the clients. And this is going to work like
Perfect.
the free market because we are not going to control the prices because we believe in the free market and we believe the supply and demand always balance the price and make it the best for the two parties. So the price will be chosen by the host, and he decided what he's listing on our market, and therefore the customer or the client who is needing this computing power just connect to this host and use it when he needs it. And I would like to also add, like I said before, When you're starting the company, you have to buy all those graphic cards, and you need this physical space for the storage of all of that equipment, and you have to pay all those bills, but you are never using all those equipment 24/7. So when this equipment is not working, it's not making any profit for your company. So this is not really cost effective. And therefore, on the Cloudia exchange, all those people who are in need for this GPU power, they will rent it on demand and pay only per hours they are using it. So if, for example, if you are a game dev developer, or you are a film studio and you are preparing the film, the movie, you can do it, for example, on Mac, which is not really advanced in terms of computing power, like very powerful. So you're preparing all the data, and when you're ready to start rendering, which needs a lot of GPUs, then you're just renting this for the hours you need, and you pay only for that. So you can compare it to other cloud services, like, for example, Netflix or Spotify, or VOD, like video on demand, when you don't have to own physical copies of media and entertainment, but you're only paying for what is actually valuable.
Perfect. It really sounds very intriguing. I'm actually very intrigued by the project. Uh, wow. Okay, let's move forward. Could you share relevant links to the project, the website, and the white paper, and any other links you would like to share in the main chat?
Yes, so our website is claudia.exchange, and over there you can find as well our white paper. So all the data you need to do the research are available on the main website.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
So yeah, I just send the link right now.
Yes. Thank you. Let's move forward. Could you please talk about a bit about the roadmap and the tokenomics of the project?
Yes. So now I spoke about the Cloudia exchange as a platform, which will be available basically for everyone. And now I would like to talk more about the token, because this is the most interesting part for investors as well. So what is the utility of the token on that whole platform? The main utility of our token will be the staking platform, and the most important thing, like I said, the hosts will be receiving money from the clients for the computing power they rent, and the 10% flat and fixed commission, the fee, will be added to that as for the operating of the platform. But 50% of whole profits made on the platform will be spent to buying back the Cloudia token, and then all those tokens will be sent to the staking wallet, and then to staking smart contract. So I know some projects on Binance Smart Chain offering and promising crazy APYs and APRs, like 5,000, 10,000, 100,000. But this is just a dream, and it never works because this is not sustainable, and there is never enough tokens to cover that when people are joining in the staking platform, and all those promised percents just going down and down because there is no utility and there is no source of new tokens to supply that staking contract. So what we are planning to do with the launch of the token, there will be a staking platform with the interest rate set at 60% APR, which is the real interest rate, and from that, we will go up when the Cloudia exchange platform will be live. So 50% of profit sharing will be added to the staking, and we are planning to boost it up to 120%, because we will have a source of supply of the tokens, we will buy back the Cloudia token, and that will make the price go up. And then when we donated all those tokens to the staking, the holders will have higher interest rate on their staking. So yeah, that's the use case. When it comes to the tokenomics, I can talk about the supply, which is 100 million Cloudia tokens. For
Okay.
the pre-sale, yeah, I will talk a little bit about the distribution of the supply, because this is very important as well for the investors and for the safety of the
Yes.
project. We balanced that for maximum stability and safety of the project. So for the pre-sale, there will be 30% of the whole supply. For the team, it's 20%, but it's vested already locked on the pink lock for 10 months. So the 2% will be released every month. For the liquidity, it's 15% as well. Staking 15%, development 10%, and by development we mean another milestones of the development of the platform, and also those development tokens will cover the centralized exchanges listing liquidity pools, because we are going to need tokens to send them to the centralized exchanges to start the trading. And in addition to all that, the private sale, we had a private sale, and for that it's 10% of all the tokens. When it comes to the
So how
tax,
much?
yes,
Okay. Yeah, please
yeah,
go
yeah.
ahead.
Okay, so when it comes to the tax, we're gonna have fixed tax. So there is a function in the contract that the tax cannot be changed. So this always gonna stay on the same level, and it's 7.5% for both buy and sell. And from the tax, we also have 10% for the staking to keep it sustainable and to boost the APY for the holders. For liquidity, 10% to burn and to just take the Cloudia tokens from circulating supply and burn them 10%, and marketing and development is 70%.
Perfect. Perfect. Thank you so much. So, could you tell me how much was raised in the private sale?
Yes, so the private sale hard cap was set at $50,000. We have now 44.5 thousands, because we're still just waiting for a couple of last transactions from the investors who had their allocation.
Okay. And are the private investors vested, or do they get 100% on the token generation event?
The private sale is not vested.
Okay. Thank you so much. So moving
But
forward,
when it comes to the private sale, I would like to say a couple of words as well, because this wasn't just a random event when some random people contributed to the project. Those are people we contacted a few private investors groups which we know before. They supporting the project. They also helping out as they can with advice, because they are very experienced and long-term investors. So we know them for a long time, and they not only contributed as a random people, but they also in the contact with us basically all the time, and they supporting the project.
perfect. Perfect. That sounds really good. So, is the contract audited?
Yes, contract is audited already with TechRate, and if you join our Telegram group, you can find the link to the GitHub and check out all the contract audit from the TechRate. And also, as our focus is safety of the contract, of the project, of the platform, and of the investors. Before our staking will be live, it will also be audited, because we for a while in the crypto space, and there is sometimes a problems with stakings. This is usually the sensitive point of the project. Even though our developer is very experienced, as I mentioned before, we are going to do audit for staking as well, just for maximum safety of the investors' money.
Perfect, perfect, perfect. So could you talk more about the partnership that you guys have developed or is in the talks, the partnership that you have?
The partnerships.
Yes.
So yes, we have a strategic partnership with Mikolt. This is quite known person on the crypto space and especially on the BSC. He's helping out our with marketing solutions, and we are planning the more partnerships after the Cloudia exchange platform will be live. Because what's the most interesting thing about the Cloudia exchange platform is that this is not only the platform for the crypto space. And what I mean about that, a lot of projects on the crypto space, on the Binance Smart Chain and other chains, have the utilities which can be useful only for the people who are already in the crypto space with us. But our utility can go outside because uh, not only people who are on the crypto space are in need for all this computing power, which I mentioned, all these companies, game developers and others, analysis institutes, uh, they are also our potential customer. So we are planning to do the marketing and partnership also outside of the crypto space, go to the science industry as well and IT industry, and we will proceed with that later on when the Cloudia exchange platform will be live.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So moving forward, let's talk about the pre-sale. You know, what is the soft cap? What is the hard cap? The platform you're using for the pre-sale. Could you give us the details
Yes.
of the minimum and the maximum buy?
Yes, so the pre-sale will be hosted on Pink Sale, and the date is 10th of October, 6 p.m. UTC, so it's this Monday. And the hard cap for this pre-sale is set at 750 BNB. Soft cap is set on 500 BNB. 60% of all the raised money in the pre-sale will be sent to the liquidity pool for stability and stable growth of the chart of the price and of the project. The minimum contribution is zero point 0.5 BNB and the maximum contribution is 5 BNB, and the pre-sale will be public. So we don't have any whitelist. Everyone who is interested can contribute and take part in this pre-sale.
Perfect. Public pre-sales. That's interesting. So let's move forward. Could you tell us more about your marketing plans that you have for before the pre-sale and the post pre-sale phase?
Okay, so sorry. The first phase of marketing was during the private sale. As I mentioned, we contacted many private groups we knew because we needed to raise money for the initial payments for the milestones of the platform and as well the pre-sale marketing. During the pre-sale marketing, we focused on calls, but mostly we focused on AMAs like we have right now today. Because our idea and our concept is quite new on the crypto space, we decided this is the best way to promote it for the investors because to have better understanding what this project is to ask the question directly to the team member as me right now, as I can explain it straightforward from the team perspective and to talk about what this project and all this platform will be. And this is our main focus on before the pre-sale. We had booked for this week 12 AMAs, so that's quite a lot. Six was already done. There is still some coming up tomorrow and on the pre-sale day as well. Uh, After the pre-sale and after the launch, we are planning to do further interviews also to promote on other social medias like Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, to get more attention and more exposure about the project and about the platform. And also, in addition to that, of course, we are planning centralized exchange listing. We are already in talks with a couple of representatives of the centralized exchanges, but right now it's a little bit too early to tell more details about it. But all the news will be released really soon about listings on centralized exchanges as well.
That sounds fair
And
enough.
yes, and with further development and release of the Cloudia Exchange platform, we are planning for the global adoption of the marketing and also to go outside of the crypto space as well, as I mentioned. And that will include publications in scientists magazines and also the magazines for the IT industry as well, because those people will be our the biggest group of our customers. And yes, our product is can work worldwide because the high demand for the GPU computing power is on the western side of the world, and also the biggest supply is in places like Asia and the Eastern world because of lower costs of electricity and other things. So yes, we will be focusing on the global adoption and global marketing to find the customers for our platform and also to find investors of our token.
Perfect, perfect. Could you tell me one thing? At what price did the private sellers get the token? Is the pricing same for the private and the pre-sale people, and the listing
Uh,
price?
the private sale has a little bit better rate. So basically, for the private sale, the rate was 0.005 dollars, so half of a cent.
Okay,
The pre-sale rate will be around 0.0075 dollars. This may slightly change because our LP and our pre-sale is in BNB, so it depends on the price of BNB on the pre-sale date, but it may change really slightly. So it's going to be around that, and the launch rate will be at 0.009 dollars.
so basically the private sellers would be at around 1.8x on launch, roughly.
Around that, yes, roughly, yeah.
Okay, sounds fair. Uh, is there anything else you would like to tell our investors about the project, about the pre-sale, private sale, the tokens? When the utility will be live, anything else before we move on to community questions?
Um, I think I've mentioned all the most important things. I would like to add because there will be also another utilities for the Cloudia token when the platform will be live. We are planning to have discounts for the people who own and staking their tokens. So I cannot tell exact amount because it will depend of the price of the start of the platform day. But this is also a case. So if you will hold and stake the tokens, you will also have better prices at the platform. So that's the incentive to having a token as well. And
Sounds fair.
yes, and as I said, the main utility is the best way to think about the Cloudia project is a little bit you can compare it to the stock exchanges and the stock companies. So when you're having a stocks of the company, if the company is bringing profits, you have your share. So basically, they giving their investors the dividends like every quarter or every half a year or every year. And this is exactly how it's going to work in the Cloudia exchange. So when investors are having their token staked, there they will receive the profit sharing from the whole platform, which can be used globally and worldwide.
Perfect, perfect. So just one last question before we move on to community questions. When is the token launching once the pre-sale ends?
So we decided to have this pre-sale for 7 days, or when the hard cap is reached. That will be the
Okay.
time when the pre-sale ends, and the launch will be done 24 hours after the pre-sale ends.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So I think I have covered mostly what I wanted to ask. Let's move on to community questions and uh, get. I'm sure you have some time in your hands and you can answer the community questions.
Of course, I'm happy to hear all the questions. Those are the best.
Perfect. Let's go through the questions from the community now. Wow, a lot of questions. So here are the. So let me just find it. Okay, here's the first question. Will there be surge charges based on supply and demand to maximize the profits?
Uh, will there be charged? Sorry.
Will there be surge charges based on the supply and demand to maximize the profits?
Okay. So when it comes to the fees of the platform, I would like to talk about a little bit on the research what we have done, because there are a couple of companies who are doing similar thing, but they have couple of the problems. So in our opinion, the biggest problem on the competition is, uh, first of all, they are centralized, and therefore they are controlling the price of the basically of the GPU computing power. And we are believing in the free market, and the free market, and that's why also we are in the crypto market, because this is the free market, and we think the free market will always find the best solution. So the host and the client, as they are supply and demand, they will always balance the price for the best of the two parties. So that's one thing, one problem we are solving, and the other one is that they having a huge fees. So some companies have like 40% fee. Some companies have like 30% commission. Some of them charging 15% from the client and 15% from the host. And we believe those are really high rates, uh, and we are planning to use flat and fixed 10% commission. So this is always going to stay like that, because we believe this demand is going to grow with the time, and people will be looking for those solutions, and therefore we can fight the competition which is already there outside of the crypto space, and with all those people who are going to use our platform, because it's going to be easy and cost effective for them. This is going to generate the profits for the investors and for the holders and for the stakers.
Perfect, perfect. So the next question is, for renting out the computing power, will the GPU owners have an option to disable the offering when they want to use the computing power for themselves? Will there be an option for that?
Option for what exactly? Sorry.
Suppose a person is using GPUs from the mining purpose or whatever, but when they want
Mhm.
to use it for their personal purposes, will they be able to disable the GPU power?
Yeah. So I got it. So basically, uh, the GPU power is universal because it may be used in many use cases, not only for mining. even those mining rigs are based on the GPUs. They are said to be most effective for the mining, but they can be also used for the other tasks. So it doesn't matter if you have just like one GPU, which is mid-range or high-end, and during the day, for example, you use it for gaming. It's not problem that you can host it during the night and make additional money for yourself. But of course, if someone has the whole infrastructure, a lot of GPUs, and some sources of free or cheap energy. This will be more cost effective for him. But like using the GPU is universal, so you can use it, you can host it, and you can rent it for all different tasks.
Perfect. So the next question is, will there be a requirement for installation of any software for using the GPUs?
Okay, that's a very good question. So yes, we will provide the software, but this is will be only on the host side. So the person who is owning the GPU and is listing his GPU on our market, that person will have to download the software, which basically will give access to the client side, to the machine, but the client, the person who is renting the GPU, doesn't have to have additional software because he can connect to the machine through the SSH protocol. So this is the protocol which give you basically the remote access to other machine. And with using this protocol through the terminal, you can do the tasks on the machine which may be on the other side of the world, basically.
Perfect. And this is actually a very good question. 50% of the profits go to the buyback and deposited in the staking pool. What happens with the other 50% from the profits?
Yes, so other 50% of the profits will be spent on further development of the platform and also with further marketing. So all this money from the profits will be reinvested to growing the company because this is our main goal is to grow the company, to bring new customers, to bring new investors. So those profits will be spent on reinvesting this money in the company, because marketing of that kind in that kind of industry is extremely expensive. Even in the crypto space, it's fairly expensive to promote the project. But if we are planning to go worldwide and to go for the global adoption of the product, which is innovative, and therefore we will need a lot of funds to cover the marketing expenses and to go to all those groups of customers who will be in our target as a customers as a hosts and also as a customers as a clients.
Perfect. That sounds really good. Okay. So moving forward, this is actually a very interesting question. Does the amount of tokens holding by a holder has any effects on the mining and scalability of the GPU?
Yes, so as I said, we are planning to do the discount program. So when the holder when the holder will be staking his tokens, he will have access for the discounts. So the price per hour will be lower for the person who is owning the Cloudia tokens and is staking them.
Okay, perfect. Okay. Moving on to the next question. It's written on your website that the users can mine cryptocurrency on the rented GPU. Could you please explain how is this going to work and how transparent is the person mining the crypto on his GPU in terms of getting the crypto back?
Yes. So right now, this is one of the use cases of the GPU power. Right now, during the bear market, when the prices are fairly low of the mined currencies like Bitcoin, the Ethereum is not the case anymore. But for example, Ethereum Classic. Uh, right now, this will be not very cost effective to rent the GPU and then to mine cryptocurrencies on those GPUs. But in the future, when the bull market will come and the prices will be of the crypto will be higher, this will also be a valuable option for the customers to rent the GPU rigs and to mine the tokens on them. Because compared to mining, for example, like in Europe or in United States, when you don't have access to the cheap energy, this is not really cost effective. But you can use other people's rigs and mine the tokens using the platform and using the software which will be provided with the Cloudia exchange.
Perfect. So moving on to the next question, GPU graphics card need an update, and those running low on storage may present vulnerabilities that may be as serious as downtimes and crashes. So what are the ways of identifying those among numerous GPUs being offered for rentage, and how do you hope to monitor and keep it in order?
Okay, so this is about the crashes of the GPU during the update. Yes.
Exactly. Yes, the downtimes and the
Yes.
crashes.
hmm so we are going to offer two types of renting. So there is a interruptible price, which always be lower, and there is a regular price. So the interruptible price, this is also something which electric companies are using when they're providing the electricity. It means it might happen that there will be pauses in delivering of the service. So not all the tasks are very sensitive, and for example, it's not a problem if the task will stop during the renting. So for those people, we're gonna have this uh, interruptible price, which will be lower, but the regular price um, will guarantee there will be no issue, uh, and then there will be no problem with updating the cards because the software system which controls basically the machine which is providing the GPU power will also control the GPU and the whole machine to stop it from any breakdowns. So if someone knows that his rig and his machine, for example, may have like a power breakdown because he's using, let's say, the solar power, and it may just run down on the energy. Then he can use the interruptible price offer, and therefore, when the customer is using that, he is aware there might be a situation with pausing the process basically during the renting time. But with regular prices, the customer will have a guarantee there will be no breakdown during the renting time.
Perfect. So the next question is, not all GPU owners are tax savvy, and the owners sometimes run the equipment without having l- proper license applied. So this has a drawback of reduced speed and processing power, limiting some applications. So what measures have you guys put in place for such owners? Thereby ensuring there are no licensing restrictions and reduced GPU capabilities.
Yes, so the software which will be used on the host machine will also do the checkout of basically the health of his GPUs. So if they are like, for example, like I mentioned, the miners are washing their machines with the water, or they're using them for years and years and years. They of course they are not so effective as they used to be. So there will be like let's say a benchmark function which will check how many percent of the graphic card uh, power processment is still there, and therefore if there will be lower than the requirements, the host will not be able to host them as uh, as uh, as it is on the listing site on the market. So thanks to that benchmarks, the customers will be also sure that the graphic cards which they are renting are in the good health.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Hero.
Okay, this is a very interesting question. Are you planning on having a referral system, where a person refers someone to use the GPU? Would they get any referral rewards?
Yes, in the future, when the platform will be released, we also thinking about the referral programs and other programs like the early testers. When the first version of the platform will be released, there will be a program for the early hosts and early clients with the benefits on the price as well. So yes, we are planning many programs like referrals on our platform, and we will release more details about it in the future. Because right now we are focusing mainly and all our efforts to providing the safe and seamlessly working platform for the project and for the investors and customers.
Perfect. So the GPU would be rented in your native token or BNB?
So when it comes to the paying for the transactions, the customers and the hosts will be able to use multiple cryptocurrencies.
Perfect. Perfect.
Hero.
Okay.
Can I ask my question? Can I ask my
Sorry for the disturbance. Okay. Moving forward. Does the Cloudia platform offer anything else than listing hardware available to possible clients?
So for now, our main goal is the renting of the GPUs. In the distant future, we have a couple of ideas as well to bring them to the table, but this marketplace for the GPUs is quite complicated to create and to keep it safe and to working seamlessly. So this is our main focus with the developers and our engineers to provide that. But of course, we have in the future when the technology will be there, we are also had some plans for the cloud gaming, but this is very early in the plans, and we will talk about it more in the future. Right now, renting the GPUs and this utility of the platform is our main focus and our main priority to bring this utility and this use case to the crypto space as well, as this is something new out here.
Perfect. That sounds really interesting. Okay. So the next question is from woman. Claudia Exchange concept is really interesting, but are there any methods that you guys implement to ensure that the processes won't take a bad effect on health of the GPU cards which they are hosted?
Which the process will take what? Sorry.
Claudia Exchange concept is really interesting, but are there any methods that you guys implement to ensure that the processors won't take a bad effect on health of the GPU cards on which they are hosted?
Yes. So the software will also take care of that. So to control the efficiency of the GPUs, so they will not go to really high temperatures, for example, like some miners when they set up the rigs improperly, they burning the cards. So this is what our software in the Cloudia exchange will also take care of, to use the GPU's graphic cards to 100%, but not to overheat them and to keep them in a good health for the long-term use. So yeah, this is all gonna be controlled by the software provided by us to the hosts.
Okay. Moving on to the next question. So this is one from Ace Cage. While reading about your project, he couldn't help but notice that the functionality offered via the GPU rental system could be done via cloud technology. So he would like to know why would potential users pick what you are offering, which is a relatively new concept over using cloud technology, which is already mainstream.
Well, like I said, there is some competition on the renting GPU space, but as I mentioned, they have a couple of flaws. So if you think about cloud GPU from the big institutions, like, well, and I don't want to mention the name, but we all know these huge companies who they have such a service as renting the GPUs. But the problem with them, that is they are centralized and they are all controlling the prices of those GPUs. So when the situation happened on the market, for example, they, let's say just for example, they renting one GPU for $3 per hour, and you are using customer is using this on the daily basis, and one day they just receive electric bills, or they're just planning to cut the cost, or just to earn more money, and they deciding now it's gonna cost $4 or $5 per hour, and the client, which he is in need for all this GPU power on daily basis, then has a problem because he is using basically the centralized system. So this is similar problem like the banks as a centralized system, and the crypto as a decentralized system of finances. So you can compare our project, our platform, as a decentralized GPU market. So the prices are always controlled by the free market and not by us. And that's where we have advantage over even the big institutions and the big corporations, basically, who are just controlling the prices on their markets. So yeah, there is some competition already, but as I said now, and I mentioned before, they have a couple of flaws because they taking too much control over the market they have, and we are planning to create the free market of the GPU computing power, where the supply and demand control the price. So the price is always set at the best point for the host and also for the client.
Hello, Aston, can you hear me?
Hello?
Okay, you're back.
Yes, sorry, I just
I saw.
my head was had some issues. Sorry.
All right. So the next question is, from the comparison of Cloudia Exchange with the likes of Lambda and Fluid Stack, there are a lot of similarities like the CPU, TF-flops, system RAM, with
Yeah,
the only
yeah.
difference being on-demand price. So
Yes.
what are your other advantages of using Cloudia in terms of efficacy?
Yes, so this comparison. We showed the same GPUs, the same CPUs, the same virtual cores, basically the same machine on Cloudia, on Fluid Stack, and on Lambda, and that's why we only compare the price. The Lambda and Fluid Stack are the centralized markets, which I mentioned before. But the thing is, this is just the one machine just to compare the prices. So all the GPUs basically all of them can be rented and hosted on the Cloudia exchange. And what we show on the pricing for estimated prices is just the example of the machine and how the costs will probably be estimated for this machine compared to the competition. But it doesn't mean there will be only RTX A6000 available on the Cloudia exchange because virtually everyone will be able to host their graphic cards. And if there will be a client for that graphic cards, there is no problem to rent virtually all the graphic cards. But obviously, if someone will have like really old one or not very efficient one, it will be a very hard to find a customer for that GPU. But I would say the mid-range GPUs and higher will have a fairly high demand for from the customers.
Perfect. So I think we've covered mostly everything. I'm going to take last 3 or 4 questions. So the next question is, there are options that a person can host their GPU on the website. So actually, the team provides the GPU itself, or the rent can happen if some people that want to host the GPU. How does it work?
Sorry, could you repeat that question for me, please?
There are options a person can host the GPU on the website. So actually, the team is not really providing the GPU itself. The
Yes,
rent can happen. Yeah, so the rent can happen if some people that want to host the GPU only.
yes. So as you said, we are not will have physically any GPUs. The Cloudia Power Exchange will be the market which is connecting one party, the hosts and the owners, with the other party, which are the clients. So the system which we create will provide the stability of the connection between those two parties, but we as a Cloudia Power Exchange will not own the GPUs itself, the physically. We are providing the market, the platform, which will make the renting and hosting available, and we also providing the software to make it safe and stable for both the GPU owner and the GPU computing power client.
Perfect, perfect. So the rewards for hosting the GPUs will be in the native token or BNB or BUSD.
Yes, so as I mentioned, this will be the payments for the hosting uh, will be available in receive in multiple cryptocurrencies. So this is not only be in Cloudia or in BNB, but we will be open for the payments in multiple cryptocurrencies, and therefore, when we will charge our fee from all those different cryptocurrencies, 50% of that fee will be spent on buying back the Cloudia. So we decided to use multiple cryptocurrencies because with that we can also do the buybacks of the token.
Perfect. So is it mandatory to hold any amount of your native tokens to rent or borrow GPUs?
So there will be no requirement to holding minimum amount of tokens, because as I mentioned already, our customers pool and our target groups for the platform will also be the people from outside of the crypto space. So we would like to create it easier for them, because uh, for some companies uh, it may be just hard to go so deep into the crypto space, and we wanted to create it easier for them, so they will not have to hold the tokens to use the Cloudia exchange platform, but of course they will bring the profit to the table for the holders, just because using the platform. But we are not planning the requirements just to use the platform. But as I mentioned before, if someone will be holding and staking the tokens, they will have access to the discounts. So if they will have a will to have better prices, then they will buy the token, stake the token, and hold it, and therefore they will receive the discounts, because we didn't
Oh,
want to create the hard entry points for the people from outside of the crypto. But also we created the incentive. If they would like to have better prices, they can, by buying and holding and staking the Cloudia token.
perfect. So we have a couple of people wanting to ask a question in the VC. I'm going to unmute you guys one by one. You can ask your questions. Please raise your hands whoever want to ask the question. So we have CC Jitters. I'm going to unmute you. Please ask a question.
Thank you, Rahul. Thank you very much for the opportunity. So, I wanted to touch on what they have on the platform. A lot of these tokens try to make this your project accessible to different CPU rendering, NVIDIA, and the rest. It's really awesome. It's really awesome seeing that you have these potential for a lot of computers. But I wanted to touch on the buy pressure. So a lot of investors have this buy pressure. Perhaps when a lot of people come to buy your tokens, and then they're able to see the progress, and they ape into the tokens, they buy a lot of tokens. What is the and there are a lot of traffic, right? Because when there's a lot of traffic in your platform, it could cause a server error. It could cause network problems, because when a lot of people are making transactions at the same time and the traffic is much, it could cause server error and database runtime error. So I wanted to know how you guys are planning to manage the traffic of the buy pressure, and then if you have this sort of database management system where you could be able to manage each wallet address that comes in, and then doesn't clash with the second wallet address and the rest of the wallet addresses coming in to buy. So what strategy do you have to manage this on your database?
Yes, so this is a very good question. And as I mentioned, we are working with the specialist from the CGP Systems company, and they already made a really big projects like the financials exchanges as well, like centralized exchanges. And over there, traffic is really high. There is a many transactions every second, basically. And we've seen everything what they have done. And because we were satisfied with the results they provided for other products, we have chosen them. And our focus is to keep it, as you said, stable, available at the all time, and we are preparing for really high traffic. Even at the beginning, the first stages of the Cloudia exchange, like the testing one, during that time, we already want to have the best possible servers to keep all the database. but before every part of the development is the process, and therefore before launching the main and the final version of the Cloudia GPU Power Exchange, we will also have the testing phase, and during that time our engineers will focus on improving the code to make it safe and stable for the hosts and for the clients. So they will take care of the optimization of the code and of the database, and they will also set it up on the best possible servers to keep it running under the high traffic, and therefore we will keep it stable. And that's about the traffic and the database. And when you're asking, you also asked about the buy pressure. So we are planning all those stages of the marketing I mentioned before, and also the marketing of the Cloudia Exchange platform outside of the crypto space as well. And when the investors will come and see our profit sharing program, as it working similarly to the stocks on the stocks exchange. So when the company is generating profit, it shares it with the shareholders, if we might call it like this on the crypto space. But of course, none of those companies are sharing the 50% of the whole profit coming to the platform. So all those marketing phases I've talked about, and also the main utility and the profit income for the holders are the parts of the plan to keep the buying pressure high in the long term, because this is not a project for a week or two, but this is a project for next couple of years, because we've noticed this evolvement and development of using of GPU computing power. We spent a lot of time on analyzing how it's gonna change in the next couple of months and years, and we decided that this is a very good perspective for the whole industry, and as the demand for the computing power will only grow. As I said at the beginning, the demand couple of years ago, the demand for GPU computing power was doubling in 2 years. So it takes 2 years to double the whole demand, and right now it's 2 months. So it's growing exponentially, and with the development of artificial intelligence systems and the deep learning systems, the things like, for example, AI generated art. This is very developed as well. Like, for example, the one of the competitions in the paintings in the art was already won by artificial intelligence, and people noticed that only after the competition was ended, and all those painters were mad because basically the artificial algorithm beaten them. So this is where the world is going. We are going to the place when all this computing power and the demand for that will be higher and higher with the development of the technology, and therefore our product, which will bring this computing power to companies and to the people, has a really good perspectives in the long time.
Thank you so much for the answer, Ashton. I hope that answers the question, Jitters.
Yeah, awesome, perfect.
Thank you so much, bro. So moving on to the next question. This is probably the last second question we'll take before the AMA ends. I'm going to unmute you. Let's see. Hmm. Okay, Millie Chopper. I'm going to unmute you. Please ask a question. Millie, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yeah, please go ahead.
My question is about the, is there going to be a marketplace where we can view the work before buy? And about it, is there a limit that we can stake? And the period is going to be determined by going to be automatically by you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, but the sound was very, very choppy, and I couldn't hear the question.
Yeah, yes, the voice was very choppy. There's some issue with his connection, I'm sure. We'll ask someone else. This is probably the last question we'll take before we conclude the AMA. Ace Cage, I'm going to unmute you. Please go ahead and ask a question, mate. Ace, you're live. Please ask a question.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. My initial question was answered. So my second question is about the exchange. I would like to know if the exchange you intend to build is going to be a DEX or a SEX, and also what are the special features to distinguish this DEX, this exchange you build from already existing exchanges. And my second question is the funds you raised during the private sale, how did you use them?
Okay, thank you. I will start from the second question. So the private sales funds were used for the marketing for the pre-sale. As I said, we had 12 AMAs booked for this week before pre-sale. There was also marketing for the Chinese market as well, Twitter promotions, the calls on the Telegram. So the private sale covers the marketing for before the pre-sale, and also to pay for development for the first milestones of the development of the platform, for the staking platform, staking smart contract, and also for the first milestones of the Cloudia exchange platform. So that's how the private sales funds were spent. And when it comes to the first question, the exchange, the Cloudia exchange platform will be more decentralized than centralized, because, as I said, the price will be set by the hosts and the clients. So this is not really going to be very centralized, and it will be the GPU computing power exchange and the GPU computing power market.
Thank you so much for your answer, Ashton. So before we conclude the AMA, guys, Ashton, is there anything you would like to tell our community and give a final message for our community members?
Yes, I would like to thanks very much everyone for coming into this AMA. Thank you for inviting me. Thank you for all the questions. They were really good. I would like to invite everyone to join our Telegram group, which is Cloudia Exchange. Over there is always someone from the core team who will answer all the questions. There is more and more AMA coming up tomorrow and on the Monday. So if I couldn't answer your question today, then feel free to join one of those AMAs. And yes, well, our slogan, our saying on the Cloudia Exchange is "The future is now." And as I mentioned, this is really true already. That the future, some science fiction things are already here, and we are the part of this revolution. And I would like to everyone to join us, and please write down the date of the pre-sale, 10th October, 6 p.m. UTC. I would love to see you on our social media, and if you have any questions to me or to the team behind the Cloudia project, feel free to join us. Thank you so much again, and hope I will see you all soon.
Thank you so much, Ashton. Wish you all the best for your project, and I hope it does wonders for you and your team and for the investors. Guys, if you have any questions, please join the TG and ask there. The team is always there to answer your questions, and please join the pre-sale, join the TG, and all the best, Ashton. Thank you for coming down to Phoenix. We hope to see you soon.
Thank you so much. See you.